Hey everyone, this is Cam. I just wanted to make a more complete update to my incredibly short I started tea video that I posted last night, which I didn't really get into everything yesterday because, as I said, I ended up with a really bad migraine. So I wanted to talk about what happened now. I'm probably going to break it up into two different videos. So first of all, I went to Miyakawa Clinic, which is like, I ended up going to that clinic because, one, the doctor was the only one who responded to me. One of two that responded to me out of the inquiries that I sent out. Two, it was close to my Koto teacher's home. It was one station past the station where I get off for to go to my class on Mondays, and the timing worked out perfectly for when I got out of that class for when the clinic opened. And basically everything that they offered seemed like exactly what I was looking for and what I needed. So I went after my class, and I kind of lost I didn't actually download my map before, so I had a little bit of trouble finding it, but I eventually found it. And I found a lot of like random Wi-Fi spots out there, so I was able to kind of chat with my girlfriend on my tablet basically throughout the entire process. So when I got there, hi. Alright, I have to go eat, so I will finish this in a little bit. Alright, you guys, I've returned all fed and happy about that. So back to what I was saying. Obviously it was my first time at the clinic, so I had to fill out a preliminary form, and I seem to have a form specifically for people who are going in for gender identity disorder. So this doctor specializes in urology, obstetrics, gynecology, and psychiatry. So, but yeah, they have a specific form for people who are going in for gender identity disorder related things, and I had to fill that out. It is all in Japanese, but most of it I could understand. There was just some kanji that I couldn't read, and the nurses read it for me, and then like I knew the meanings, so I was able to fill everything out accordingly. So it asked if you were like MTF, FTM, asked for like your information, name, age, date, like birth date, address, phone number, blah 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 blah. Asked what you were coming in for, and they have like hormone therapy or documents or blood tests, etc., etc., etc. They of course ask if you have like any allergies. They ask if you've ever had any sort of treatment prior, and if so, they ask for details, and they ask who in your family you've come out to. So then, of course, I had to wait till it was time for me to be seen. And when I finally went in to go see the doctor, his name is I forgot his full name, but Miyakawa Sensei, basically. He does understand and speak some English, so we were able to do our consultation in a kind of mix of English and Japanese. He didn't really get too in depth about things. I was really anxious the Thursday night because I thought I was originally planning on going on Friday. And I ended up obviously going yesterday, and I got really, really anxious and nervous right when my Koto lesson ended. So, but he didn't get too in depth with things. He asked, like how long I felt this way, told me what like the effects of hormone therapy are, what the side effects are, asked about the people that I've come out to, and like he asked, like about my sexuality, and asked to check, like, do external checks on everything. Like, he asked, oh, can I check your breasts? And he did. He was like, oh, you don't really have that much tissue there. And I was like, yeah, I know, thank goodness. And he asked to check my external genitalia, but that was not ideal yesterday because of suffering from the wrath of the red dragon at the moment. I did ask, I told him that I'm more interested in going on a low dose. He was like, oh, yeah, I've heard of some people doing 125 milligrams, but I don't recommend it because it's not likely that the menstrual cycle will stop. And he said he believes that if you take the full dose, it will stop within 3 injections, done every other week or so. So yeah, and I did also ask him, I took in my DHT and I asked him about that and told him like what I had it for, and he was like, oh, well, that's really interesting. He didn't really know about it, but he's like, but I think that you'll see better, stronger effects from regular hormone therapy. So, after we finished our consultation, he had asked me like where I'm from and all that kind of stuff and where I'm living now, and we talked about my worries about work, but he didn't say anything to discourage me at all from like proceeding. He was completely all just like we talked over all the possibilities, but then like it was just like, okay, well, do you want to come in for your injections or do you want to do them yourself, basically? And I was like, well, I was planning on self-injecting, but I really was not anticipating starting yesterday. So basically after that, I was handed over to a nurse. The nurses there do not speak English, so if anybody in this area ends up going to that clinic, your Japanese does need to be at least good enough that you can understand Japanese and preferably read and write some, because I was able to fill out my whole form in Japanese properly and read most of it. So she took my blood, and then I was sent off to the practice room where I would learn how to self-inject, and I waited there for a really long time. But obviously there's a lot of details surrounding that, so I will cover that in a separate video. So that, after she taught me everything, they gave me by their, determination of 5, like, I had 1 injection yesterday, and they gave me a supply for 4 more injections, at a full dose, which I do not intend to take. I doubt I'll be able to go back to that clinic because I'll be moving, in less than 2 weeks. So yeah, I paid and I got my receipt and I came home. And actually right after I got my blood drawn, I started feeling the migraine come on. I didn't know that it was going to rain yesterday, and it ended up raining, which weather kind of triggers that for me, as well as not eating properly and possibly being dehydrated. And I do have anemia, so I'm sure having blood drawn doesn't necessarily help either. But yeah, after that, actually, I was starting to feel a little bit guilty that I went and I had my first shot done on my own and not like back home with my girlfriend with me. But I really feel like I needed to do that. It came when it was supposed to come. It happened when it was supposed to happen, and I needed it to happen. I needed to feel like that the control had been finally put into my own hands, and that I was actually making a considerable step forward. I feel like now I can really, really begin my journey. I feel so much more encouraged to like finish coming out to everybody and do everything that I need to do to make sure that nothing derails me. So yeah, I was basically out of commission last night and almost all of today. I didn't end up taking pills until this afternoon because I had something to do. And actually also my pump arrived last night. So I'll also go over that, and I guess I'll do a video on the DHT soon as well. I'm going to start using that stuff. My results, they gave me testosterone before I got my results. I should be coming soon. I'm not entirely sure when. I'll email them and then ask. But yeah, they're super receptive there. They're super friendly. They have a gender-neutral bathroom. They were really just supportive and understanding and kind, and they're very much like, if you have any questions about anything, just send an email. So yeah, that's great. So I'm gonna stop this here so it doesn't get too long, and I will talk about my actual first injection in a separate video. So thank you for watching. If you live around this area, basically in like the Aichi prefecture area, like if you live anywhere around Nagoya, if you have any questions about that clinic, because regardless of what your identity is, they do see both MTFs and FTMs, of course. So just, yeah, ask. I can provide more details about everything. But that aside, thank you for watching and take care.